If you've just filed something with USCIS and you're checking your status every day, you're not alone. The good news is, after you file, your case moves through a fairly predictable pipeline. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 milestones most USCIS cases go through, what each one means, what you should watch for, and what's normal versus what's a red flag. This is general filing process information, not legal advice. So here's the roadmap. Number 1, intake. Did they accept it or send it back? Number 2, receipt number. Your case is officially in the system. Number 3, biometrics. Fingerprints and identity checks. Number 4, active review and possible requests, RFE or NOID. Number 5, interview or waiver and final decision. I'll keep this practical with examples of what the notices look like and what the wording usually means. The first step is intake. This is not USCIS deciding your case. It's a basic check. Is it the right form and the right form edition? Is the form signed? Is the correct fee attached? And is the filing put together in a way that meets the instructions? If something basic is missing, like a signature or the correct fee, USCIS may reject the filing. Rejection means they return it to you, you don't get a receipt number for that attempt, and the case doesn't move forward until you fix it and refile. Important, a rejection is different from a denial. Rejection is an intake problem. Denial is a decision that's made later in the case. A quick example, if someone forgets to sign a form, that can trigger a rejection. It's mechanical. It's not USCIS saying no. If the intake check is okay, you'll get a receipt notice, often called the I-797C Notice of Action, or NOAA 1. That notice contains a receipt number. This is the moment your case becomes trackable in the system. That receipt number matters because it lets you check your status online, confirm the case was accepted, and identify which system it's in. A quick practical note, some receipt numbers look different depending on how the case was processed. For example, you may see formats like IOE, MSC, or other letter prefixes. The exact prefix is less important than the fact that you now have an official case identifier. What's normal? It can take some time to get this notice. USCIS volumes and intake workflows vary. A red flag to look out for is if a lot of time passes and you have no receipt notice and your payment was never processed. That may indicate the case didn't get accepted or there's a delivery or intake issue. After you have a receipt number, many cases go to a biometrics appointment. Biometrics usually means fingerprints, a photo, and a signature taken at an application support center. USCIS uses biometrics to verify identity and run background checks. 2 things to know. Not everyone gets a new biometrics appointment. Sometimes USCIS can reuse biometrics from a prior case, depending on the situation. If you do get an appointment, it's time sensitive. Missing it can slow your case down or even result in a denial. Practical tip, when you get the biometrics notice, double check the address and date immediately and keep it with your other receipt notices. Active review. This is the phase that causes the most anxiety because the case can sit in received or actively reviewed status for quite a while. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Your file is in a queue, an officer is assigned to it at some point, and they review the forms and evidence against requirements for that particular benefit. Sometimes everything is clear and the case just moves forward. Other times, USCIS needs more information to adjudicate the case, and you get one of these, an RFE or request for evidence. An RFE is USCIS saying, we need something specific in order to continue. It's not a denial, it's a request. What to do if you get an RFE? Read it carefully. Interpret it literally. Respond with exactly what is requested. And, most importantly, meet the deadline. A NOID, or a Notice of Intent to Deny. A NOID is more serious. It means USCIS is leaning towards denial unless you address the issue that they list. You still get a chance to respond, but the stakes are higher. Respond just like you did with the RFE by reading it carefully, interpreting it literally, responding with exactly what is requested, and meeting the deadline. Practical reality, most people see RFEs more commonly than NOIDs. Either way, deadlines matter. Interview or waiver and decision time. Depending on the type of case, USCIS may schedule an interview, or they may decide the case without one. If you do get an interview notice, the purpose is usually to confirm your identity, key facts from the filing, and consistency between the forms and the evidence submitted. What's common is you'll be asked to bring originals of key documents and show updated information if anything has changed. You'll also be given the chance to correct any errors you made on the form and to submit additional evidence in support of your request. Then you reach the final outcome, approval or denial. Approval means USCIS grants the benefit requested. For example, with an adjustment of status application, it means permanent resident status. Denial is a decision that you didn't meet a requirement or didn't provide what was needed. Again, denial is different from rejection. Rejection happens at intake. Denial happens after review. Let's summarize this in one clean way. Rejected means the filing didn't pass intake. Signature, fee, basic completeness issues. It gets returned to you. There's no case that really starts. Denied means USCIS reviewed your application and its supporting evidence and made a decision based on that. That's later in the pipeline. If you only remember one distinction from this video, remember that. If you want to reduce avoidable delays in this pipeline, focus on the things USCIS checks early. That forms are complete and the right edition. Signatures where required are present. Fees are correct. And information is internally consistent across your forms. A lot of problems people experience aren't about eligibility. They're about paperwork quality and consistency. If you want a second set of eyes on the administrative accuracy of your completed USCIS forms, things like missing fields, mismatched information, or common intake issues, there's a link in the pinned comment to Immigration Accuracy Lab. It's a non-legal administrative review, not legal advice, and not an eligibility assessment. Otherwise, subscribe if you want more clear, process-focused USCIS explanation videos. In the next video, I'll cover what common case status messages actually mean and when you should worry and when you shouldn't. Thanks for watching.